Welcome in, everyone. I'm Anthony Crum here with JockJive.com as we have our second game of this Dixie Youth Baseball Majors Division State Tournament. This one between Fort Meade and Brooksville. The winner of this one will go on to take on South Sumter, who defeated Frostproof by a score of 3-2 in our last game. If you joined us for that, we thank you. And if you're joining us here today, big thanks from JockJive.com and from me, Anthony Crum, as we get started for this second game. Second of 3 games that will be played today. Brooksville, the away team, Fort Meade, the home team. For this matchup, on the mound, starting for Fort Meade is going to be Andrew Bergens. We'll go through the Brooksville lineup first because they'll be up to bat first. Leading off this game will be 39, Nick Como. Then number 22, Drew Van Alstyne. Number 10, Anthony Talpa. Number 3, Stephen Hart. Number 29, TJ Rodeer. Number 18, Riley Staller. Number 8, Shanier Varner. Number 33, Drew Bittinger. Number 99, Anton Grooms. Number 13, Chris Dorothy. Number 16, Nick Lucas. Number 1, Jake Jones. For the Fort Meade side, leading off is number 99, Andrew Bergens. Number 6, John Cole. Number 4, Saul Ortiz. Number 23, Garrett Sims. Number 10, TC Burnden. Number 2, Damian Sanchez. Number 3, Jacob Reynolds. Number 7, Jesse Siller. Number 8, Brandon Hammond. Number 00, Hunter Chase. Number 88, Johnny Taylor. And number 13, Aiden Ebby Bailey. It's starting to get hot here in Lakeland. So far, it looks like the rain has stayed away. Looking this morning, it was supposed to come in between 11 and 2. We're sitting at 11:30 right now. And we're still looking fine. Only a few dark clouds in the sky. Overcast day. But definitely a warm one. Here, the weather radar is reading at around 90 degrees with 57% humidity. No wind in the air. So just a hot and muggy day, a typical Florida day, as we get ready to start this game between Fort Meade and Brooksville. It looks like we're just waiting on umpires, so while we wait, we're going to take a quick break here before we start with today's action. You're listening to Dixie Youth Baseball Majors Division State Tournament here on JockJive.com. Welcome back, as it looks like we're almost ready for play here as Fort Meade has retaken the field as we get ready to start this game between Brooksville and Fort Meade Youth Baseball Majors State Tournament. I'm Anthony Crum here with JockJive.com. I'd like to remind you, if you want to text in a shout-out today, do it to 410-903-2715. You can give a shout out to anyone on the field, or if you need to help me with pronunciations, whatever you see fit, text it in to 410-903-2715. If you're texting in a shout out, let me know who you're rooting for, where you're rooting from, and who you are. So when these kids go back and watch these games later, you can they can know it was you that sent in that text. We haven't had any states outside of Florida yet, so be sure, if you're listening from outside the state of Florida, to text me in and let me know where you're coming from. In that last tournament that we had in Sebring, I had 6 states. So we'll see if we can top that one here for this tournament here in Lakeland. The winner of this game will go on to face South Sumter as they defeated Frostproof by a score of 3-2 in our early game. Then the winner of that game will be playing tomorrow in the winner of our third game today. That third game today will be between HYL Ridge Manor and East Lakeland, as the winner of this game will go on to face South Sumter, and then the winner of that game will go on to face HYL Ridge Manor and East Lakeland. That's our last game of the day. That game is set to kick off around 2, or first pitch is set for around 2 o'clock. Guess I'm already thinking about football, as we're still not yet set to play baseball here. It looks like we're still waiting for umpires. I guess I don't really know what the holdup is as of yet. Our first game between South Sumter and Frostproof was a good one, close one throughout. South Sumter able to put up a run in the 5th and then close out Frostproof in that top of the 6th inning to advance to 1-0 in this tournament. The loser of this game will go on to face Frostproof in an elimination game. Both of those games will be tomorrow. We only have 3 games scheduled for today. We play 6 innings here in the Majors Division. Typical baseball rules. Kid pitch. No leadoff is allowed. That's the Ozone Division that allows for the leading off of the base pass. On the mound for Fort Meade is going to be Andrew Bergens. Behind the plate, number 2, Damian Sanchez, will be his battery mate, as it looks like we're ready to go here. Don't forget to like JockJive on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter, as we're trying to reach 10,000 Facebook likes and 1,000 Twitter followers. And the only person that can help us get there is you. And when you like us on Facebook, we keep you updated on scores, schedules, game status, and so much more. So go to JockJive.com and follow the shortcut to all the social media, or simply put JockJive Sports in the search engine of Facebook, or at JockJive on Twitter. And also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's where all of our archived games go, so you can watch them later. And we're ready to go here. Number 39 for Brooksville, Nick Como, leading off. And he watches that first pitch come in for a strike. First pitch comes in at 11:34. Popped up, straight up. Great catch behind the plate by Damian Sanchez for the first out of this inning. Great play behind the plate there by Sanchez to shed the mask and catch that ball as it just went straight up in the air. Up now for Brooksville, number 22, Drew Van Alstyne, as he watches that first pitch too far inside for ball 1. Second pitch comes in for ball 2. Again too low. Count 3-0 now. 3 balls, no strikes to Van Alstyne after Nick Como popped out on 2 pitches. That ball is in there for a strike. Good break on it there by the pitcher Bergens to tie Van Alstyne up there. 3 balls, 1 strike. High and inside, ball 4. Van Alstyne picks up the 1-out walk, and he trots down to first base. That brings up number 10, Anthony Talpa. Trying to find the strike zone now is Bergens after the walk. That ball gets over the head of Talpa, and taking second easily is Van Alstyne. That ball got away from the catcher Sanchez after it was and now there's a runner in scoring position for Brooksville. Talpa hits a hot shot to the shortstop of Fort Meade. Fired over Cole. Picked that one up and fired it over the first baseman for the second out of this inning. Ball was just pounded into the ground there by Talpa, and he goes down on the ground out. Stephen Hart now at the plate for Brooksville. Runner still in scoring position as Van Alstyne is on second. This is a hot shot out to center. No one's going to catch it. It gets into the gap between right field and center field. And Brooksville takes the 1-0 lead over Stephen Hart. Swings on that first pitch and hits an RBI double. And Brooksville's already in business now. TJ Rodier, number 29, comes to the plate. Nice pitch in there by Bergens. Another looping pitch comes in for a strike. Strike 2. 0-2 to Rodier. After Brooksville just captured the 1-0 lead on the 2-out double by Stephen Hart. Scoring Drew Van Alstyne from second. This one, again, hit into the outfield by Rodier. That one's going to get down. Hustling around third is Hart. And the score, Brooksville 2. Fort Meade 0. Got the wrong Fort there. Fort Meade versus Brooksville. That's an RBI single from Rodier. And Brooksville jumping on Fort Meade early. Score 2-0. 2 straight hits by Brooksville has brought 2 around to score. A double by Hart, a single by Rodier. Brings up number 18, Riley Stoller. This is a hot shot down the left field line. Good job by the shortstop, John Cole, to range over there near the foul line and get. That's a fly out for Stoller. And that will end this top of the first. We head to the bottom of the first. Brooksville leading Fort Meade by a score of 2-0. On the mound for Brooksville when we come back out will be Drew Van Alstyne, and leading off will be Andrew Bergens. You're listening to Dixie Youth Baseball here on JockJive.com. Brooksville leading Fort Meade by a score of 2-0. We are back and ready for the bottom of the first. Brooksville strikes for 2 in the top of the first. Now Meade has their chance to answer. We play 6 innings here in these Dixie Youth Baseball Majors Division. Both of these teams looking to get a win, and the rights to face South Sumter. The loser will fall to the loser's bracket. The pitcher, Andrew Bergens, now comes to the plate, squares the bunt, pulls it back, but that ball is right there for strike 1. That one's outside, 1-1. On the mound for Brooksville is Drew Van Alstyne. His battery mate behind the plate is number 33, Drew Bittinger. Good hack put on there by Bergens, but he shoots it foul over the fence, over the Fort Meade dugout, down the first base line, and he's going to reset. Now down 1. Again, too far outside. Count moves to even, 2-2. Remember, if you want to text in a shout-out, send it into the number you see on your screen, 410-903-2715. Tell me who you are, who you're watching, and where you're watching from, especially if you're outside the state of Florida, as the 2-2 pitch is too far outside. The count is full to the leadoff batter, Bergens. Drew Van Alstyne on the mound for this Brooksville team. There it is, strike 3. Caught the corner. The outside corner. Bergens shakes his head and has to head to the dugout as he goes down looking in his first plate appearance. That's going to bring up the shortstop, number 6, John Cole. Cole recorded 2 of those outs in that first inning. Doing it with the leather, now trying to do it with the bat. As the clouds have come over the fields here in Lakeland, kind of cooling us off a little bit. There's a strike into Cole. 1-1. There's a big swing and a miss. Strike 2 onto Cole. He shakes his head. Mad he missed that pitch. Next pitch into Cole. He goes around. Strike 3. He goes down swinging. He tried to tell home plate umpire, no, I didn't go around. But in fact, home plate umpire says he did. 2 strikeouts now for Van Alstyne as she's trying to send Fort Meade down in order. That's going to bring up the second baseman, number 4, Saul Ortiz. And Van Alstyne pulls one too far outside for ball 1. Contact by Ortiz, but fouled into the backstop. Strike 1, 1-1 the count. 2 outs, bottom first. Fort Meade trying to answer the 2 spot put up by Brooksville in that top of the first. That ball was too far outside. 2 balls, 1 strike now. Ortiz puts another hefty swing on that one, but again fouls it back. Count moves to 2-2. Doing a good job making contact here is Ortiz, but just not putting it in play as of yet. Van Alstyne trying to get 1, 2, 3 in this inning. He's already picked up 2 strikeouts, and there's strikeout number 3. Van Alstyne strikes out the side, and we head to the second. Brooksville leading Fort Meade by a score of 2-0. You're listening to Dixie Youth Baseball Majors Division State Tournament here on JockJive.com. And we're ready for the top of the second. After Brooksville plated 2 in the top of the first. Drew Van Alstyne on the mound for Brooksville came down and set Fort Meade down 1-2-3. And they carry this 2-0 lead into the second inning. Leading off for Brooksville is going to be number 8, Sean Varner. His first plate appearance on the day. If you want to text in a shout-out, send it in to 410-903-2715. That's the number you see on your screen. That's the shout-out number. Make sure you tell me who you're rooting for, who you are, and where you're rooting from. As we get ready to start this second inning, we play 6 innings here in this Dixie Youth Baseball Majors Division. If you want a DVD of any game broadcast during this year's Dixie Youth Baseball, T-Ball, or Major State Tournament, simply email info@jockjive.com and we'll get that process started for you. DVDs are $10 per game plus shipping and handling. That's info@jockjive.com. Sean Varner getting his first plate appearance for Brooksville. He puts a hot shot down the third base line, right by the third baseman of Fort Meade. That's Sims out there at third. Varner on first with the leadoff single to start this second inning. These Brooksville bats have come alive already early in this game. It's going to bring up the catcher, number 33, Drew Bittinger. That's already the third hit of this game for this Brooksville team. That ball behind the back of Bittinger, and he has to scamper out of the way. This pitch again too far outside for Bittinger. Bittinger ahead in the count against Andrew Burgeons. This is a bunt laid down by Bittinger down the first base line. No one is at first. That ball almost got into the outfield, as that's a single for Bittinger. Moving Varner up to second to bring up number 99, Anton Grooms. I have to say, a great play there by the second baseman Ortiz for Fort Meade for not letting that ball get into the outfield. Brooksville threatening again in this second inning, already leading by a score of 2-0. Now runners on first and second, no outs for Grooms. Number 99, Anton Grooms. His first plate appearance today. Two straight hits to lead off this inning. A single by Varner, and then the bunt single by Bittinger has Brooksville in business. This is a hard hit to the shortstop. Cole can't get it. Brooksville doesn't send the runner from second home, but that's going to load him up after a hard hit grounder. It makes it through the infield by Grooms. That's going to bring up number 13, Chris Dorothy. With the bases loaded, no outs, Brooksville has a chance to put a crooked number up here if they can put some hits together. This is a pop fly in the infield. Ortiz brings it down. That's a big first out. Huge first out there for Fort Meade as they're trying to get out of this bases loaded jam. Number 16, Nick Lucas, now at the plate. First pitch there for a strike. Runner on third is Varner. Runner on second, Benninger. Runner on first, Grooms. One out in the second. Hot shot back up the middle, and that one gets by Ortiz. There's one run. All the way to the fence. There's 2 runs. That's a 2 RBI single for Nick Lucas. As we're going to have a meeting at the mound. That 2 RBI single makes the score 4-0 already early in this one. Nick Lucas will be standing on first. Grooms goes from first to third. Runners at the corners now. 1 out for Brooksville. Fort Meade reeling early in this one. If you want to text in a shout-out, make sure you send it in to 410-903-2715, the number you see on your screen. Coming up in July on JockJive.com, Florida and Alabama Dixie Youth Baseball. The Dixie Youth World Series events and Dixie Baseball State Tournaments and World Series and so much more. Plus this fall, SWAC football, soccer, volleyball, Tuskegee football, Georgia military, college football, Great American Rivalries, high school football, ACC, Game of the Week, and more. A litany of reasons you need to come back to JockJive.com often. Jake Jones coming to the plate now for Brooksville. Runners at the corners, 1 out. He watches that first pitch in there for strike 1. Jones lays down the bunt down the first base line. They try to throw home, but no play is made at the plate.
What's up? I gotta make your mind up, fellas. Come on.
As Groom scores from third on the squeeze bunt. No out recorded there by Fort Meade. That's a single. And an RBI for Jones. That brings us to the top of the order. Nick Como coming to the plate. He's 0 for 1 on the day with the fly out. But Brooksville exploded for 3 runs already in this inning, and they're leading Fort Meade by a score of 5-0. Only 1 out. This pitch too high and too far inside. Como watches it for ball 1. Como hit one straight up the chute in his first plate appearance that was brought down by Sanchez behind the plate. And this ball over the top of his head for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to Como. This one too far into the outside. Gets all the way to the backstop. Both of Brooksville's runners advance. Second and third now for Como with the count 3 balls, no strikes. Andrew Bergen's now struggling on the mound to just get it out. 3-0 pitch is right there for a strike. 3-1. Nick Como at the plate. Como swings on this one. Hit to the third baseman. They do bat it down, but no play is made.
Here, hustle. You're doing fine. Hustle. Keep on rolling, Drew. Get on it. Get up.
Garrett Sims was able to bat that ball down at third base. That's another run for Brooksville. And again, runners at the corners. As Como picks up the RBI single. And now Drew Van Alstyne, the pitcher for Brooksville, comes to the plate. He walked in his first plate appearance. Fort Meade lets Como take second. Without a throw due to the runner on third, and Van Alstyne flies out for the second out of the inning. Brooksville's already plated 4 in this inning. Score is 6-0 for now number 10, the shortstop Anthony Talpa. He grounded out in his first plate appearance, but there's a chance for an RBI here with 2 runners in scoring positions, 2 out, top second. First pitch too high and outside for ball 1. 0-1 pitch swung on by Talpa, but foul. Count moves to 1-1. Brooksville's jumped on Fort Meade early here. The score 6-0. Winner goes on to advance to play South Sumter. Loser will play Frostproof as that one in too far, hit by pitch. Talpa. Third baseman now, Stephen Hart comes to the plate. He smacked a double into the gap his first plate appearance. Just ripped one all the way to the fence between right field and center field. And now he has a chance with the bases loaded. And the first pitch is too far outside. I'm good. This one again too far inside. 2-0, the count to Hart. Third pitch too far outside. 3-0 to Hart. Nowhere to put him. Bases are loaded. There it is, strike one. Hart thought that one was a ball. He was ready to take first, but home plate umpire had something else to say about it. 3-1 the count. Hart hits one to the first baseman. Race to first. And Fort Meade picks up the out. T.C. Bearden picks up the out at first base. That's a ground out for Hart. And that's going to end the inning, but not before Brooksville plates 4 more runs in the top of the second. We head to the bottom of the second. Brooksville leading over Fort Meade by a score of 6-0. You're listening to Dixie Youth Baseball Majors Division State Tournament here on JockJive.com. Welcome back, everyone, to this game between Brooksville and Fort Meade. Dixie Youth Baseball Majors Division State Tournament here in Lakeland. This Brooksville team has jumped out to a 6-0 lead over Fort Meade. But Fort Meade looking to respond here in the bottom of the second. Leading off for this Fort Meade team is number 23, Garrett Sims. But Alstein looked dominant in that first inning, striking out the side. Now comes back with the 6-0 lead, just looking to pepper the strike zone as Sims swings through the second one. Count is now no balls, 2 strikes. And there's strike 3 as Garrett swings through all 3 pitches. 4 batters up for Fort Meade, 4 batters down, all by the strikeout. 4th strikeout of the day for Van Alstein. Going to bring up number 10, T.C. Bearden. The lefty, and he looks at strike 1. Second pitch. Looks like it's going to be high, just drops off the table. Great pitching there by Van Alstyne. Gets Fort Meade down 0-2. Third pitch into Bearden. Too far outside. The count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bittinger sets up on the outside corner. This pitch is inside and low. Count is 2-2. Got to protect still with 2 strikes. Bearden swings right through it. Strike 3. 5 straight strikeouts now for Drew Van Alstyne. 5 up, 5 down, all by strikeout. We'll see if number 2, Damian Sanchez, can change that streak now with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. Brooksville leading 6-0. And there's strike 1. Second pitch pulled too far outside for Van Alstyne. 1-1 the count. No one's been able to really put it in play yet for Fort Meade. All 5 batters have gone down by the strikeout. And now Damian Sanchez has 2 strikes, 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Fort Meade batter. And Van Alstyne gets him swinging. Van Alstyne has faced the minimum, and everyone's gone down by strikeout. 6 up, 6 down for Fort Meade. We head to the third with Brooksville leading 6-0. You're listening to Dixie Youth Baseball here on JockJive.com. And we're back getting set for this top of the third inning. Brooksville leading over Fort Meade by a score of 6-0. Brooksville plated 2 in the first, 4 in the second, looking for more here in the third. TJ Rodier will be leading off for this Brooksville team. The real story so far has been Brooksville's pitcher, Drew Van Alstyne. He's faced 6 Fort Meade batters. All 6 have gone down via the strikeout. Perfect game so far for Van Alstyne. Makes this 6-0 lead almost seem insurmountable. As Fort Meade brings out a new pitcher. New pitcher is going to be number 3, Jacob Reynolds. As Andrew Bergen's day on the mound is done, Reynolds will now take over. As Perkins only makes it through 2 innings, giving up 6 runs. First pitch into TJ Roedier, too far outside for ball 1. As Reynolds tries to put up a 0 for his team, as they need to keep this game as close as possible the way Brooksville has been pitching them so far. Reynolds started this game in left field and now is taking over on the mound. And there's strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike into Roedier. He's 1 for 1 on the day. He picked up a single and an RBI in that first inning. That pitch too far high and inside. 3 balls, 1 strike. The 3-1 pitch curves its way over the heart of the plate. Count is now 3-2. We're full. Here to the leadoff batter for Brooksville, TJ Roedier. Reynolds payoff pitch. Hot shot down the third base line, but foul. Count stays full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch comes in, too high, ball 4. Leadoff walk for Roedier. To lead off this 3rd inning with a base runner, Brooksville has a runner on first, no outs. For number 18, the first baseman, Riley Stoller. He's 0 for 1 on the day with the fly out. Came up with the... He actually ended that first inning with the fly out. There's a hot shot down the third base line. Gets right past Stills at third. Right over the mitt of Garrett Sims at third base. And there's a no-out single for Stoller, who's now 1 for 2 on the day. Now Sean Varner comes to the plate. He's 1 for 1 with the single. Led off the second with the single. And he looks out. Runners at first and second. No outs for Brooksville. This is a high pop-up. The short shot for Fort Meade. John Cole's going to bring it down for the first out. Fly out for Varner. On 1 pitch brings up Drew Bittinger. Bittinger was 1 for 1 on the day with the single. Part of the 3 straight hits that led off that second inning for Brooksville. The runner at first base is Stoller. Second base is Roedier at the plate. Drew Bittinger 1 out, top 3. Brooksville leading by a score of 6-0. Winner goes on to face South Sumter. Loser falls to the losers bracket and will play Frostproof tomorrow. Another pitch too high into Bittinger. He sets for this pitch. Blooper into right field, and it's going to drop between the second baseman and the right fielder for Fort Meade. Coming around to score is Roedier. That ball gets away from the catcher. Number 10, Bearden, now behind the plate. That ball got behind him. One's going to score for Brooksville. RBI single for Bittinger. He advances on to second on the throw along with Stoller, who advances to third on the throw. First, second, and third now, one out for Anton Grooms, number 99. He has a chance to drive in two more with a hit here. This one hit to left field, but the ball gets out of the glove of the left fielder of Fort Meade, number 13, Aiden Ebby Bailey. And two are going to score. Only one scored initially, but on the throw-in, the ball gets away. As Fort Meade defensive lapses are just coming back to haunt them. And we're back. Sorry for the delay as my Wi-Fi went out again. You do everything you can to keep it out of the sun, but it's still hot out here, so it turns off every once in a while. You just missed a home run out there by number 18, Riley Staller, as he cranked one with two runners on, and the score now Brooksville 15, Fort Meade 0, top of the third. It's Brooksville starting to put it on Fort Meade. That home run by Staller out to left field cleared the fence easily. And that's going to bring up number 8, Sean Varner. Base is empty now for Brooksville. 15-0 the score. This one hit by Varner. This one's deep back, but catch made out there in center field for the third out. This inning mercifully comes to an end as Brooksville plates 9 runs. And they lead Fort Meade by a score of 15-0. We head to the bottom of the third. You're watching Dixie Youth Baseball Majors Division here on JockJive.com. Welcome back, everyone, as we get set for the bottom of the third inning, with Brooksville leading over Fort Meade by a score of 15-0. Pitching for Brooksville, returning to the mound, Drew Van Alstyne looks to keep his K streak going. As for Fort Meade, number 3, Jacob Reynolds is going to take the plate. See if they can get anything going against Van Alstyne, who's faced 6 batters and struck out all 6 of them. 15-0 our score in the bottom of the third. Brooksville played at 2 in the first, 4 in the second, 9 so far in the third. And we head to the bottom of the third. Fort Meade trying to make their comeback or get anything going on the offensive side of the ball. But Van Alstyne looks to keep dealing as that's a first pitch strike into Reynolds. Reynolds took over on that plate in that third inning, gave up 9 runs. There's strike 2 in Reynolds. Still peppering the strike zone is Van Alstyne. That one's too far outside, ball one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2 pitch, just high, ball 2. 2-2 the count. That was a close pitch there from Van Alstyne. He wanted that one. Strike 3. Van Alstyne sets down another Fort Meade minor. 7th straight strikeout. 7 batters, 7 strikeouts for Van Alstyne. Now Jesse Siller coming to the plate. First pitch fouled off. Number 7, the left fielder, is getting his first plate appearance right now. He's down 0-1. As Van Alstyne gets set for this second pitch of the at-bat. Second pitch right there for strike 2. Siller down 0-2. This one hit by Siller right to the shortstop. Throw to first. Got him. Siller not a fan of the call at first base. He thought he was there in time, but at least he put that ball in play. It's a ground out for Siller. That's going to bring up number 8, the right fielder, Brandon Hammond. They're going to pull Van Alstyne off the mound now. Send him to short. And the new pitcher for Brooksville is number 3. Stephen Hart. Great pitching by Drew Van Alstyne. He makes it through 2 2/3. He makes it through 2 2/3 innings, picking up 7 strikeouts. 7 of the 8 outs, he recorded all strikeouts. He struck out the first 7 batters that he faced. Definitely an offensive game that Fort Meade wants to forget about, as they've been unable to play the hit so far. As we have a final over on the T-ball field, West Seminole defeated Fort Meade by a score of 24-20. As we wait for the warm-up pitches here of Stephen Hart. Coming up to bat now for Fort Meade is going to be number 8, Brandon Hammond. Hammond, the right fielder. His first plate appearance today. Still 4 more batters that have yet to have a plate appearance for Fort Meade. Brandon Hammond, Hunter Chance, Johnny Taylor, and Aiden Ebby Bailey have yet to hit. Now with 2 outs and nobody on by a score of 15-0, Fort Meade's Brandon Hammond comes to the plate. Swung through by Hammond. Count moves to 1-1. Third pitch into Hammond is right over the heart of plate for strike 2. And we'll see if Hart can pick up where Van Alstyne left off and get a strikeout, but this one's too far inside. Count moves to even 2-2. Too far outside on that pitch. Full count now to Hammond. Fort Meade's looking for their first base runner of the game. Full count to Brandon Hammond. And there it is, ball 4. Fort Meade gets a base runner on the walk. Hammond goes to first. 0-0 Hunter Chance. Now at the plate, the lefty. Swung through the first pitch, Chance does. He's down 0-1. He watches strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. Now to Chance. And he watches the pitch, but that one's a ball too far outside. One ball, 2 strike pitch is high. Runners taking second for Fort Meade. Safe at second base. Chance Heyman picks up the stolen base and moves into scoring position. Good piece of running there by Hammond. Now Chance has a chance to bring him around. This pitch too far, too high into the backstop. And Hammond moves on to third. See if Chance can plate the first runner of the afternoon for Fort Meade right here. Swung through his Chance, and he goes down swinging. 4 come to the plate in the bottom of the third, but no runs for Fort Meade. Brooksville still leading Fort Meade by a score of 15-0. We head top of 4th. We head to the top of the 4th. Brooksville leading Fort Meade by a score of 15-0. You're listening to Dixie Youth Baseball Majors Division State Tournament here on JockJive.com. And we're back for this 4th inning. Reynolds retaking the Fort Meade here. Leading off the inning for Brooksville is going to be number 33, the catcher, Drew Bittinger. He's 2 for 2 on the day. 2 singles and a run batted in. And we're back after some technical difficulties with the memory on the computer. We are back ready and up and going to start this bottom of the fourth inning. The bottom of the lineup up for Fort Meade. Number 88, Johnny Taylor. 4 batters came to the plate for Brooksville in that top of the fourth. No runs came across. So I'll get that scoreboard back up there for you. Strike 3. Brooksville needs one more out. Leadoff batter Andrew Bergens coming to the plate. Number 22 started the game on the pitcher's mound for Fort Meade. It just came back up, though. Bergens back to the plate for Fort Meade. He swings through, hits one up the middle to the shortstop of Brooksville, fired over to first. And that's going to end this game. Brooksville gets the win over Fort Meade by a score of 15-0. They will go on to face South Sumter. Fort Meade will fall and have to go play Frostproof. Some losers bracket. Your final here is Brooksville 15, Fort Meade 0. We thank you for watching, even through our technical difficulties here for JockJive.com. I'm Anthony Crum. We hope you join us for the next game, which is set to start at 2 o'clock. That game is HYL Ridge Manor and East Lakeland, right here at 2 on JockJive. Have a day.